Hey everybody, Donnie B, Learn Pro Recording. Welcome to the podcast. Today is Sunday. It is November 7th, 2021. Man, it's getting closer and closer to the holiday season. All I see, there's Christmas music playing at the grocery store. Dude, did y'all forget about Thanksgiving? It is a holiday, and we get a day off, and we all get to hang out and eat. And y'all forgot. You just run right on into Christmas. I don't get it. Anyway, welcome to the holiday season, everybody. It's going to be fun. We're going to have a good time. Hey, we're even getting on the train. We're going to have a Black Friday deal. And I'm going to bring that up. I'm sending that out to y'all tomorrow. I'll go ahead and tell y'all on the podcast here. We've got a live hybrid mix coming up on the 23rd of November, which is Tuesday before Thanksgiving. I wanted to get it in before everybody gets set aside and running off and seeing family and being part of holiday stuff and everything. You know, let's get one more in before the end of the year. You know what I'm saying? So that's what we're gonna do. We're gonna have a live broadcast. It should be really fun. I've got two moderators that are gonna be here helping me out with the questions. We're going to be using Restream this time. So we're going to go to Facebook. We're going to go to YouTube. We're going to go to Twitch. We're going to do all the big major streaming services that we can think about, because we want everybody to be a part of it, man, because they're always fun. We always have a good time on these workshops, man. Usually some funny stuff happens, and you know, sometimes the mix comes out like crap and everybody gets to talk crap about me, but hey, that's all fun, man. That's what we're doing. You know, hey, if you don't like my snare drum, go listen to somebody else then. I'm just kidding. Y'all, it's usually a lot of fun when we have these. So that's going to be November 23rd, 6 p.m. Make sure to get ready. I'm putting up the registration form tomorrow morning, like 8 a.m. Pacific time tomorrow. It'll be online and you guys can get signed up. We're going to keep it limited to 100 people, just so we can have more interaction. Last time we did this, we had a lot more people, and it was just too much of the comments and the questions and answers. It was more like a chat room at that point. It got kind of out of hand, but we still had a really good time. But you know, we would just want to keep it light, keep it with intimate friends. You know what I mean? So hey, it's gonna be fun. So look for that. Get signed up. It ought to be good. I'll talk to you more about it on next week's podcast as well, just so we can get some more signups on that if we need it. So today we got coming up the fourth part of our studio tour. Today's gonna be fun, dude. We're talking about microphones. I'm basically going to lay all the microphones out, and we're going to talk about some of the good ones, talk about some of the old ones, some of the new ones, some of the good ones, some of the bad ones. You know, whatever, man. I'm just going to look at all the microphones we got. We got quite a few microphones. I really like microphones. They're fun to play with, fun to deal with. It's fun to experiment, modifying microphones, making microphones, creating microphones, whatever, man. It's just a good time. We have a good time. So hey, what I wanted to talk to you about today. We had a question came through on the email this week, on my email this week. You guys, if you guys have questions or comments or whatever, reach out. It's info@learnprorecording.com. I'll put a graphic down here for you right about this time. So info@learnprorecording.com. Just reach out, ask whatever you want to ask. Anyway, a conversation came up this week, talking to somebody about, he asked if there was practice test for the Avid certification. And then this whole conversation started. Yes, there is practice tests at avid.com. If to answer your question, yes, there are practice tests, and you can go out there and practice before you go take your test. Now, disclaimer straight up, ladies and gentlemen, this is simply my opinion. I myself am Avid certified, so this is simply my opinion on whether or not you have to be certified in order to work in this industry. It's simply my opinion. Again, Avid, no offense. I'm not trying to hurt anybody's feelings. I'm not trying to make anybody feel bad. It's just simply my opinion. And everybody's welcome to agree or disagree, or even agree to disagree. See what I did there? All right. Anyway, so the question was, is there a practice test? And we got in this conversation about, do you even need certification? Really? Do you really need to get certified by Avid in order to use Pro Tools? The absolute short answer and long answer is no, you don't. What you need is you need to be efficient, you need to be proficient, you need to be good at what you do. If you're good at what you do and you're efficient and the client loves you, they don't give a crap about whether you have a piece of paper that says you're certified by Avid. Now, Avid does charge you to take this exam. It's not cheap. You have to take a bunch of different the classes, the 101, the 201, the 301, 301A, 301P, whatever. You got to take all these classes, and then you have to test. Absolutely. No, look, I agree with the test. Avid is telling the world that you are a certified user, that they have certified you as a user for their product. They're going to make sure you know how to use their product before they're going out there letting everybody know that you are certified to use their product. I agree with that. That's totally fine. But do you need it to get a job in this industry? No, you don't. What you need to do to get a job in this industry or to work wherever, even for yourself, to get clients and be a freelance guy, you have to know your tool. You have to know your craft. I mean, you can't be a carpenter and not know how to use a saw. Every time you use a power saw, you cut your finger off, and you can't do that. Same thing with Pro Tools, man. If you don't know Pro Tools, you're not working. Everybody wants to use Pro Tools in a studio. They just assume that everybody's got everybody. All my clients that come here just assume that we have Pro Tools. Every once in a while, you get somebody else. There might be another engineer coming in that's going to work the session, and he's more comfortable in Logic, so we'll put up Logic. There may be another session that comes in that they may be more comfortable working in Ableton Live or FL Studio. Regardless, we're gonna bring up whatever software the client is more comfortable with using. But if I'm the engineer, I am more comfortable recording using Pro Tools. I'm more comfortable mixing using either Pro Tools or Analog or Luna. I can use both. I can use a hybrid system, which means I can be inside the box, inside the computer using Pro Tools, and then coming out using the analog console, which is, I think that's my favorite way to do it. For me, I get better results doing it that way. Again, ladies and gentlemen, this is simply my opinion. Don't be mad. If you want to be mad, go ahead and yell at me on the email. It's info@learnprorecording.com. Feel free to reach out. And just to be clear, I really don't think there may be jobs out there that require you to be Avid certified. One job that's out there that is available for some people is where you work at a school and you are actually certifying other engineers for Avid. So there, in part, you do have to be certified in order to certify other people. Okay? Hey, so I really don't think you need to be Avid certified to do this as a job. What you need to do is you need to be good at what you do. You need to be personable. You need to be professional. You need to understand how this stuff works and understand how it happens. And then client comes in here and they see me sitting in front of this stuff. They're not asking me to show them my certificate before we get started recording. No one has ever done that. And like I said earlier, I myself am Avid certified. That's indifferent. I actually went to a school and the school offered a certification, so I went ahead and took the certification. At the time, I did think that that would help me in the job market. Absolutely not. It means absolutely nothing. And then there's other companies that will certify you that are not Avid, but somehow they've got this Avid hookup and they know how to do it, and they charge you a minimal fee like $500, and you basically go sit in a room and go over the questions and answers to the test constantly until you haven't just ingrained in your head. So when you go take the test, you know the answer to the question. But the thing is, you get the certification, but you actually don't know how to do it, but you do know the answer to the question. And that kind of demeans my certification, because I actually spent a year in school learning the programs and learning Pro Tools and becoming certified in Pro Tools by Avid. So it kind of demeans my certification because somebody else is doing it for cheap and doing it quicker. So there's that. I mean, so I honestly don't think you have to have it in order to get a job. That's the long answer. The short answer, of course, is no, you don't. Just go get Pro Tools and get the gig. Just learn how to use Pro Tools and go get clients and learn how to do the gig. Okay, that's basically it. So what we got coming up in a little bit, right now we're at, oh shit, I've only done 10 minutes. I've been rambling for 10 minutes. Y'all just let me go like that. That's funny. So, look, we got some cool stuff coming up in the next few weeks. We got the, like I said, we got the live hybrid mix coming up. I'm probably going to use Pro Tools for that one, just because simply most people are using Pro Tools. The percentage of people using Luna at the moment is a little bit smaller than the people using Pro Tools. So we're going to go with Pro Tools on this one. But what we're going to do is we're going to take Pro Tools out and we're going to run it onto an analog console. I have yet to decide if I'm going to use this studio or I'm going to use the bigger studio. I'm leaning more toward the larger studio just because we can get more cameras and more things going on. We can do like an overhead camera so you guys can see the console, and then we could do like a couple of different angles of the engineer, a couple of different angles of the room, that kind of thing. We're gonna be mixing on a song that's already been recorded. I'm gonna try to get a song that I have not seen yet, so you guys can see the whole process of actually doing, setting up the session and then getting ready to mix and then the actual mix. So get ready, man. It might be about 2 hours long. I'm gonna try to keep it under 2 hours. Depending on the questions that we get, we'll try not to go over that much, but hey, just, you know, we're gonna start at 6 p.m. Pacific time, wherever you guys are, whatever you're gonna be doing. Just come on in and have fun, man. It's gonna be, we're gonna have a good time. Bring some snacks, have some adult beverages available if that's your, you know, if you're into something like that. We're gonna be partaking, so it's gonna be fun. We're just gonna have a good time. We're just here to relax, have a good time, and basically to kick off we're gonna be kicking off the holiday season. Kicking off the holiday season with a live analog hybrid mix. It's gonna be amazing. We're gonna have a good time. Hopefully it's a good song. Like I said, I haven't picked the song yet. I hadn't even picked which studio I'm gonna be in yet. So you know, there's that. What else we got coming up? Oh well, like in a few minutes you're gonna get to see all my microphones, which I think is pretty exciting. I do enjoy microphones, like I said earlier, and I think it's going to be fun. We're going to have a great time. Some of these microphones are really unique. Some of them are really interesting. Some of them are stupid. But some of them are just, they look stupid, you think they're stupid, and then you go, oh damn, that sounded awesome. So it's just, there's something in there for everybody. So everybody's gonna get to see a little bit of something. So anyway, well, thanks for hanging out with me for this this little podcast. And then also check out learnprorecording.com. There's some free stuff there for you. I think on the front page there's a button you can click in. I'm not really sure what's on there right now, but there's usually some free stuff. We change it up like every week or every month or something, and just see what's coming. See what's going on, man. Check into the calendar and see what's going on. Just get into the blog. Check the blog. Oh, shit, we got a Grammy-nominated artist recorded and mixed and everything here. And it's kind of awesome that they're a great bunch of people that we got to work with, and it's actually on the website. Y'all go check that out. Oh, go to esaudio.com. That's where all that's at. It's at the studio actual website. This is Learn Pro Recording, but ES Audio is the studio. That's this studio that we're looking at. Actually, you can see it on the screen right there. We just went to the screensaver. So esaudio.com, check that out. Check the news. Barlow and Bear, man, they're nominated for best musical theater album, which is going to be amazing. They're a couple of great girls that we got to work with, and great people that support them, and great people that are here with them. So we had a great time, and we're so proud of them that they got the nomination. Hopefully they win. It's going to be amazing. We're going to have a good time with that. That's always fun when those things happen, man. We love to support, you know, we love to help, we love to grow, we love to be a part of your project, man. If y'all are ever in town and want to stop in and say hello, please do. Just call. The number's on the website. You can't miss it. Again, that's esaudio.com. I'll put a little graphic right here so you guys can see it. So it ought to be pretty cool, man. We're gonna have a good time. So hey, listen, I know the holidays are coming up and everybody's gonna be stressing and worried about all that kind of stuff and everything. Look, let's just relax. Have a good time. This is it's gonna be a little bit better than it was last year. Last year was kind of stressful and messed up with the whole COVID thing, and even COVID seems to be subsiding a little bit. People are being, you know, more people getting vaccinated and feeling more comfortable. You know, not that I'm gonna get into a debate about any of that stuff with you, but we're happy that everybody's feeling better and wanting to come back out and get into the studio with us and everything. So we're having a good time. Last night we got to work with yesterday all day. We had a full day yesterday with a full band, and I think this project's gonna be fun, man. We're gonna have a good time with that. I'll talk more about that with you next as the project comes to a close. As the project gets closer to releasing the single. But we did basically the live band, and very nostalgic for young people. It's really fun to see that young people are embracing real music and real recordings. That's just going to be a fun thing to do. So it's going to be a great record. So I think y'all are going to like it. So there's that. Stay tuned to esaudio.com, the news for that one, because as soon as that gets released, we'll throw that out there. The socials, you can find the socials on Learn Pro Recording. You find the socials on ES Audio. Stay in touch. Y'all just stay in touch, man. Like I said earlier too, if you got any questions, comments, or concerns, or if something in your studio or something in your studio working is bothering you, or something you're struggling with, please reach out. Please let me know. I mean, I'd love to help you. Love to be a part of it. We can set up a one-on-one coaching session if we need to. We can set up a workshop. We can set up whatever, just to help out, man. Just to help you guys grow and become bigger and better. So with that being said, reach out to me if you need it. It's info@learnprorecording.com. Again, I'll throw a graphic up so you guys can see it. If you were watching on YouTube, I'll put a link down below. You guys can link in and just click over and see what's up, see what's going on. So, hey, I appreciate y'all hanging out with me for a little bit. Get ready for this microphone thing, man. I think it's going to be fun. I'm going to have a good time with it. So, y'all get ready for that. I'll see you in a little bit. Talk to you soon. Be safe. Be happy, make music, make you money. We'll talk to you soon. Peace. Hey everybody, Donnie B, Learn Pro Recording. Welcome back in. Today we're doing the final part 4 of our studio tour. Today we're just looking at all the microphones. We got a bunch of microphones laid out here on the table. Cut to the GoPro. See how I do that? I'm gonna have to do all this in post. I'm gonna have to do video edits. You guys know this about me doing the podcast and everything. I like to do things raw. I like to do things without stopping. If I say the wrong words, it's okay. Y'all can deal with it. It's okay. I just like to. I prefer doing it that way. But today's tour, I'm gonna have to do some edits. I'm gonna have to cut some stuff. Maybe I'll even add some graphics of the name of the mic in case y'all are interested in picking one up or something. So. We'll see what happens. All right. I'm going to just start. Let's just start with this microphone, which is the one that I'm wearing right now, because I'm going to have to take this one off. This is a lavalier mic. It's by Shure. I'm not even sure of the I'm not sure of the Shure. I'm not sure of the model number. I'm not really sure what model microphone that is. I'm sure it's on here somewhere. It's made in Taiwan. It's a MVL. Whatever that means. It's a lavalier mic. But it is connected to this little device, which is the Rode Wireless Go. These things are great, man. These things are awesome. They're wireless. They stay powered up for quite a while. I mean, you can get hours out of them. The receiver's on the other end. I can't show you that because it's being used. These are great for quick wireless video things like what I'm doing right here. So this is more of the same. This is a wireless system by Hollyland. I like this system because it's dual. There's 2 microphones. This is the receiver. It's a stereo. You can run it in stereo. You can run 2 monos. These are the mics. There's actually built-in microphones on here. They just kind of clip on. They clip onto your belt or whatever, and then you can run both of them at the same time. They come out on 2 channels. The cool thing I like about this is the battery. All you got to do is put the things back in here, and they charge themselves up. It's pretty cool. I like this, and it's dual. So sometimes we have 2 guests, and we have to have 2 microphones, or even more with the Wireless Go. Let's continue on the video path. I've got these laid out kind of in a way, like all the dynamics are here, all the condensers are here, large and small diaphragms. I got the broadcast mics over here. I got the tube mics here, the rib mics here. So we're gonna get to them. Let's just continue on with our video set. This is a little video camera mic. Pretty much just mounts on the shoe mount of your camera. Got a little wind, got a little dead rat thing on there to keep the wind out of it. We got a couple of those. One's a Rode, and this one is a Mirfak audio, whatever that is, M-I-R-F-A-K. I'm going to actually put links to all this stuff down there if y'all want to check these things out. These are pretty cool. I think this one was like 30 bucks on Amazon or something. The Rode's a little bit more expensive, but they're comparable. The Rode is a little bit better, of course. You know what? I actually like Rode. I don't mind. I actually don't mind the Rode mics that much. They're not that bad. Excuse me while I grab some coffee there. All right, on to some dynamic mics. This is a Sennheiser E609. This is a great mic for live situation. It's okay in the studio. I've got better mics for guitar that we use in the studio, particularly an SM57 or a ribbon, depending on the genre, depending on the loudness of the guitar. These are great. I like these for stage because the back is actually blacked out, so it rejects sounds coming into the back. It takes a lot of pressure, so it'll take a loud electric guitar with that before it distorts. These are okay. There's a couple of these. I'm not going to show you all. I'm not going to show you both of them because they're the same. This is a drum mic, man. This is the Sennheiser E604. I bought this thinking it might be cool because it clips onto the drum, but it doesn't sound that great. I tried it on a snare drum. I tried it on toms. Again, man, I just got better mics that I like to use for snare drums. I got better mics I like to use for toms. You know what I actually use on a tom? This is my mic that I use on a low floor tom. This is a EV320. It's got this cool little cut right in the middle frequencies. It cuts out all the middles. So this is pretty cool on a floor tom because you still get that crack of the stick hitting and you get that big rumble of the actual floor tom. We got two of these. We use these for podcasting, broadcasting, making radio stuff, whatever. Continuing on with the dynamics. We got one, two, you know, these are SM58s, man. These are standard vocal microphones when you're on a stage or when I've actually used these in the studio. These have been used in the studio, just handheld. You know, sometimes the singer gets a little intimidated with the big mic that is the large diaphragm. Sometimes those mics are really intimidating if somebody's not really used to it. So I'll just hand them a SM58 and tell them go to town, man. Go on, sing. Yeah, the Beta 52, man. It's great. It's okay in a kick drum, inside a kick drum. I don't mind it inside the kick drum. I do have a better mic that I like to use on the inside of a kick drum when, but then too it depends on the style of music. Jazz, kind of slow, you know, not big kick stuff. I'm gonna use this. If it's rock or pop, I've got this is a Gear 1 Mkh416. This is a cheap-ass mic. I mean, Gear 1 is the lower version of Musician's Friend, which is Guitar Center. This mic, though, dude, it does something to a kick drum that's just, it's kind of insane. It really is. It's kind of freaky what this mic does to a kick drum on the inside. But I do use it in conjunction with a Yamaha sub kick. Yeah, this is basically a speaker that's wired backwards. Let me get it in focus for you here. This is basically a speaker wired backwards. This thing moves so slow, it only picks up the lower frequencies, and that's why it's called a sub kick mic. Now, you could buy this from Yamaha. I think DW makes a version of it. They're expensive, man. They're you know, $300-400. But if you have an old speaker just laying around that's not doing anything, that's maybe on the verge of being broken or whatever, or you know, not working right, take it out, replace it, save the old one, make a microphone out of it, man. It's awesome. It really works well. Sennheiser 441U. Yeah, you know what, man? I bought this last year, this past year actually I bought this. And I don't know, I really haven't found a place for it yet. I thought it was going to be a great vocal mic in the studio. It's okay. I mean, of course I got better vocal mics. So I've tried this in various locations, depending on what we're doing. The first day I had it, the first day I got it, I put it on a drum kit, and I don't know if y'all can see the dents there. A drummer smacked it with a stick. You know, kind of a little disappointing, but it was all right. I mean, it's okay on a snare. Again, it's okay on a snare, but I've got better mics on it from a snare that I like. So, you know what I really like on a snare, man, which y'all gonna think I'm crazy. Y'all really gonna think I'm crazy, but I like the Audix i5 on a snare drum. This is thanks to my friend, my friend and you know, one of my mentors that I like to follow, Sylvia Massey. This is her favorite snare drum mic, so I started using it because she suggested that I should, and I kind of like it. I really do. I use it in conjunction with, again, you know, I'm not using it by itself. I'm using it in conjunction with another mic on the bottom of the snare, which generally is this mic, which is a Sennheiser 412, which was actually the predecessor to the 421. They look very similar. I think this mic is from the 60s. It was for like a cassette recording situation, you know, where you like dictating or something, like in an office or whatever. But dude, this thing does something to the bottom of the snare. It's really just unheard of, man. It really just, I don't know. It feels good. There's the music and the speech switch, just like on the 421. You know, speaking of the 421, this is one of those, and you can roll this thing off. There's a couple of different situations where you can roll this into being music or speech, and it just kind of changes the EQ a little bit inside. So there's that. This is another SM58. I know that we already looked at one of these, but this one's like, it's nicely dented. It's nicely got, it's used. This one is definitely used. This microphone was brand new in 1976. Y'all want to know how I know that? Because that's when I bought this microphone, 1976. Damn. Okay, SM57s. Man, y'all, if y'all don't own a microphone, I suggest you run out right now and pick up one of these. This mic is going to be your friend for everything, all the time, anytime. This mic can be used for vocals. It can be used for guitars. It can be used for drums. It can be used for bass. It can be used for harp, piano, whatever, man. This mic is going to be your best friend, and these are workhorses, dude. They don't break. I'm sure they could if you abuse them, but if you take good care of your stuff, it's going to take care of you. Then I've also got, wait, that's a 57 too. That's a 57, but that's a 57. But they're a little bit different. I don't know if y'all can see that. Inside, this one's yellow. This is called a yellow mod. Basically, all I did was, it's from, anyway, this is a yellow, it's called the yellow mod. It's from Crimson Audio. The yellow mod's from Crimson Audio. What they did is they changed the electronics in the handle. And I just bought the handle and traded it out with a donated 57. But what it does is it changes the EQ. So the EQ on this is a little bit different than on a regular 57. Basically, it's a little bit boosted in the mid-range. It's great on guitar. I do like it on a rack tom. This is pretty much my rack tom mic that I like to use all the time. It just does, because it's boosted in the mid-range, it's a little bit different. There's actually another one. Yeah, y'all saying this is a 57. This is also a 57, but if you look inside, it's blue. That means that this is the transformerless. You can see it there. This is the transformerless. Basically, there's no transformer in here. Now, this does require phantom power to use it, but dude, this thing is so crispy on a snare drum. A bottom snare drum from underneath, this thing is so crispy, it's awesome. And then there's more 57s. There's plenty of those. This is an SM7B by Shure. This is the other mic that if you guys don't own a microphone or you've already bought your 57, the next mic you should buy is this one. This mic is awesome for vocals. Dude, I use it, I pull this out and I put it on hi-hats. And when I do that, people kind of freak out a little bit. They're like, oh, you can't use that on a hi-hat. Bro, watch what happens. I love this on a hi-hat because it's just, it can take the pressure, but it's also got a little EQ roll-off here. You can boost or cut the lows and the highs, okay? So this is really a versatile mic for everything. Vocals, man, if you got somebody that's a really strong, big vocal singer that's really loud and it's kind of distorting your larger diaphragm mics, this is your best friend right here, man. This thing is amazing. It's awesome. Now we're moving into, let's move into some obscure mics. These are weird. This is basically a handheld vocal mic. This is a Shure SM96, which is still pretty popular around the live stuff. So this mic, it is a condenser. It does require phantom power, but it's pretty bright. I have tried it. I've tried it on hi-hats. I've tried it on guitars. It's just one of those mics that I picked up, probably really cheap at a yard sale or something, and it kind of works. It's kind of okay. This is a Turner. I think this is the Turner 520. If I'm not mistaken, I don't know. I'm probably mistaken. Y'all know how I am. This is a vintage mic. I think it's from the 60s and 70s. It is Turner. It's written right on the front there, but I think it's a 510 or 520. Again, this is one of those mics I picked up at Goodwill or a yard sale or something, and I'm not really sure what it was originally meant for, but I do like it because under the snare, it's amazing. Guitar, it's a little bit bright for guitar, but acoustic guitar, not bad as a other mic. You know, I mean, you might have one mic on the acoustic, but then you put this one in. It's pretty, I like it. It's okay. I probably like it because it only cost me like 10 bucks or at the thing or something. Let's talk about this. A realistic, I don't know if you guys remember Radio Shack, but this is a realistic microphone that's really stupid. But if you're looking for that stupid sound, I got you covered. You want to talk about a stupid microphone? Hello? Hello? Somebody called? This actually is a microphone. This is a telephone that I bought. I bought the telephone set at Goodwill, and of course I changed it. Of course I'm going to modify everything. I changed it into a microphone. And when you use this, it actually sounds like you're on a telephone. I know you can do it with EQ. I know you can do it in post. But it's more fun, I think, to do it in real time as you're recording. My philosophy, and you guys know this about me, that I like to make my thing sound the way I want my thing to sound, and then I record that. I don't try to play with it in post and use the computer to make my thing sound good. Let me grab a little sip of my coffee here. If y'all really want to, I can cut that out. Speaking of realistic, got a couple more realistic mics here. This is a realistic, what is this? A highball. This is the realistic highball. Dude, it's got an on-off switch. I can't believe why all mics don't have an on-off switch, I don't know. This one also has an on-off switch. This one came from a, I think this one came from a karaoke. It's a unidirectional dynamic microphone, low impedance. Who knew? I think this came from a karaoke set or something. But if you need a crappy sound on a microphone, I got you covered right there. I tell you what. Let's get back into video mics. This is the Rode NTG2 shotgun mic. It's basically an ultra cardioid, and it's got a long throw on it, so it's meant for, you know, booming and stuff like that. This is the Sennheiser Mkh416. Both of these do require phantom power. They are condenser mics. They're about the same length, about the same size. But the Sennheiser definitely sounds better than the Rode. But the Sennheiser's a little bit more money than the Rode. Now, if you're on a budget, the Rode's, you know, $300 or $400. This one's like, I don't know, $1,100, $1,500, something like that. Whatever. Shure SM90. Everybody should have one of these laying around. These are awesome for whatever, man. We've actually put this one like upside down inside the piano just to see what it sounded like. This was I would put this into a kick drum all the damn time. Underneath the pillow, basically put the pillow on top of it, and inside the kick drum, just muffle it up a little bit. It was cool. I honestly haven't used it in a minute. Akg C430, again, just a small diaphragm condenser mic. Cardioid pattern. Great on hi-hats, overheads on drums if you're outside, that kind of thing. Sterling Audio. Somebody owed me 50 bucks and they gave me this mic. I think I used it once and I thought it was broken because it just didn't sound right. So I don't know. I keep it in the drawer for props or something. I don't know. Again, another Sterling Audio mic. This came with this mic. One is the SP130. This is the SP150. Large diaphragm, small diaphragm condenser. I think this was a stupid deal of the day at Musician's Friend. I think it was 40 bucks for the two mics. How can you go wrong, man? 40 bucks. Anyway. Shure SM81. Got a couple of these. Got a pair of these. They're great for overheads, that kind of thing. These have a switch which basically cuts the lows. High pass filter since we're in America. I'm not really sure where it cuts, but it does. I think it's 40 and 60 hertz. I'm not really sure. Got a pair of NT5s by Rode. These are pretty cool. These don't get as much love here at the studio that I prefer because we have an NT4, which is the same capsule. This is the same capsule as the NT5. It's that these are in the XY configuration. These are already set up as a stereo. I like this one because you can actually put a battery in and use it outside. If your recording device doesn't have phantom power, this is a great mic for that kind of thing. I think that's why I originally bought it. I think I originally bought that because we were doing some remote recordings. I need a stereo mic. Dude, the Behringer B1. I don't know if y'all can see it, but this one's nicely dented, correct, on right out here on this side. And I think the dent did something to it because now it's pretty cool. It still kind of sucks, but it doesn't suck as much as it used to. That's funny. That's really funny. Here's a Rode NT3. This is another one of those microphones that we bought just to go outside and record sound effects, stuff like that. It's not bad. It's a cardioid pattern. I think it's more of an ultra cardioid. It's a little bit tighter pattern. A little bit tighter pattern than that. A little bit longer throw. Great for Foley if you're recording, if you're designing sound effects and you want to go outside and record some horses or something. I don't know, whatever. That's kind of random that I said you go outside and record some horses. Here we've got a pair of C414Bs, the newer version of it, the stereo version of it, the stereo pair. This is an older C414B ULS. It's the one that's got the switches on it. I think this one's from the 70s and 80s. These are from the 90s and 2000s. But you kind of have to have some of these if you're going to be working in if you're going to be in a studio, you kind of have to have at least a pair of these things. These are pretty standard that you should have. These are really versatile. They're really versatile because of all the patterns that you can change it to. And then you got low cut and dB cuts on the back. I'm sorry, high pass filter. I can't get used to that, saying high pass filter, because to me it's a low cut. I'm cutting the lows. I know a high pass filter, you're cutting lows and allowing the highs to pass. I just can't get myself, I can't wrap my head around to call it a high pass filter. It just sounds funny. Anyway, this is one of my favorites. What does that look like to y'all? Yeah, that is a 12 gauge shotgun shell. This is actually the 12 gauge microphone company. This guy he puts little microphones inside a 12 gauge shotgun shell. It's pretty cool. These mics literally are $30, $35. I've got a pair of them. These are omni pattern, so it's picking up all around the top. These make great room mics for when I'm doing my drums. I put them up in the corners of the rooms or whatever, just to capture the sound of the drums in the room. Because these are omni, they're pretty cool. These do require phantom power, but they're awesome. And for the price, you really, really can't go wrong. I suggest y'all go right now and check that out. The 12 gauge microphone company. Just show that guy some love, man. He's a pretty cool guy. This is a little Audio Technica, and I happen to be I didn't mean to wear the shirt today. It just happened to be the one right on the top of the stack, so it came out when I got dressed this morning, and I didn't know I was going to be I'm not promoting Audio Technica microphones. I actually I don't mind them, but I don't like them, so it don't matter. I don't have a bunch of them. This is one of them that I do have. This is an I do like their headphones, though. Let's get that straight. I got all the headphones here in the studio are Audio Technicas because they sound great. They're not expensive, and you don't really care if you break them. You don't really care if the client breaks them because they're only 30 bucks, 80 bucks, whatever. 80 bucks for the good ones. This is basically a choir mic. You hang this from the ceiling like that, and you know the choir sings. We actually have another one of these that we leave in the room, and we call it the Talkback Mic for the drummer. We just leave it on all the time, and whenever there's a drummer in there, we actually record it, we crank it up, and we compress it so it don't peak, and you get that crunch like everybody loves. You get that big old crunch on it. Moving into the broadcast, more of the broadcast type mics. This is a Rode Procaster, red and black. This is very unique. There's 2 red and black ones on the entire planet, and I got both of them. Now, I'm not sure how many they made, but this was a special edition from Rode. Normally, these are black or silver, but I got 2 black and red ones because if y'all have seen the rest of the studio tour, you notice that all the walls are red, the ceilings are black. That's like the colors of the studio, are black and red. Again, Audio Technica. This is a 4033A large diaphragm condenser mic for basically for vocals. Again, not one of my favorites. Not bad, but not one of my favorites. It's okay. This is an original Groove Tube GT. This is original Groove Tube GT55. Dude, I've had this mic for literally 20 years. Large diaphragm condenser. This has cut a lot of vocals here in the studio. Here, when I started the studio, it was at my house, in my living room, on a laptop and an M-Box. If y'all remember the M-Box, that's what it was on. But this was actually one of the main microphones that I had at the time. It was cheap, dude. I think at Guitar Center it was like 159 bucks. But it's got a low cut or a high pass filter. Sorry about that. And it's got a 10 dB pad on it. It's got a 10 dB pad on it, or a low cut. This is actually quite a nice mic. Now, Sterling Audio used to be Groove Tube. So these are very similar in how they work, how they act, how they look, how they sound, because they're essentially the same mic. Guitar Center actually ended up buying Groove Tube, and then they changed it to Sterling Audio and started making the microphone Sterling Audio. But this is a great mic. I really like it. Maybe it's the nostalgia of having had it for such a long time. I don't know, but whatever. Dude, we have 5 of these. This is the Rode Pod mic. Dude, 99 bucks for this microphone. That's why I've got 5 of them, man. We do a lot of podcasts here. I'm actually in the podcast studio right now. We got this monitor behind us, so we can actually, sometimes we put up a Zoom session or whatever in here. Last week we did last week's studio tour was of this room, of the podcast room. So we do a lot of podcasting here. Sometimes we get 4 people sitting around the table, and then we'll have a host sitting at the main desk with one of these mics. These things are great. They got a built-in pop filter, so you don't really need the little foamy thing on top of it. As opposed to these don't really have the same protection on the inside from the pop filter, so we end up having to put a foamy on it. And same with these. We end up having to put a foamy on it sometimes if somebody's like full of P's and T's and stuff when they come out. Y'all might know what this is. This might look like what they call the U87, but it's not. This, my friends, is one of the modded mics. This was originally a Rode NT2. 1995, man, Rode got sued by Neumann for stealing the design. It's pretty much the same size, the same shape, the same color. The electronics are very similar. The only thing that was the main difference was the capsule. The capsule was not a Neumann. The capsule was something else in here. What I did is I found this on Craigslist for 50 bucks. Bought it, and then bought a U47 capsule. It's called an RK47. That's the one that's actually in the U87. Changed that, altered the electronics just a tad, so it makes it more like a U87. We actually call this mic our NT287, because this is basically a U87. We've actually put this up against a vintage 87. Yeah, of course, the vintage 87 was a little bit nicer than this one, a little bit, I don't know, it just seemed a little bit more clear. But at the same time, it did sound comparable. But I only spent 200 bucks total on this entire microphone. So I win as far as I'm concerned. Y'all know what I'm saying. Let me grab some more of this coffee. I'll be right back 1 second. My throat getting a little dry. I don't know what's going on here. Where are we at? We got a pair of these Cascade Fat Heads. These are pretty cool mics. They're ribbons. So the ribbon mics move honestly, they're always figure 8. That's how they work. But the ribbons move a little bit slower. These do have the Lindahl transformers in them, so they're a little bit brighter, a little bit louder. You don't have to push them as hard. And what happens with ribbon mics is you got to push them a little bit harder, so you get a little bit more noise in the system. But these are awesome. I do use these for room mics. Every time we do drums, these are actually just hanging out in the room. Okay? There's another Cascade. They stopped making this one probably 12 years ago, 15 years ago. It's the Cascade Vinjet. Cascade still has a Vinjet, but it's a little different design now. This one honestly rivals a 121. I'm not going to mention the name of it because y'all know what I'm talking about. This one actually, I find this one better than the 121 on a guitar cabinet. We used this yesterday for the producer that was here yesterday called it a drummer talkback. And what he did is he put this near the drummer's head so the drummer could talk to the engineer. And then he cranked it up so that we could hear him over the drums, and then he compressed it so it wouldn't peak. And it got a little crunchy, and it felt good. I kind of liked it. It wasn't bad. Wasn't bad at all. This is a cute little Cascade mic. I bought this just because it looked cool. You know, I thought it looked pretty cool. This is just a stand on it just to keep it from falling over. But there's actually, I don't know if y'all can't see inside of it, but there's actually 2 ribbons that run right down parallel on the inside. This thing is pretty cool. It kind of sucks for anything except visually. Visually, it looks awesome because it, you know, it just looks retro, man. It just looks pretty cool. But it doesn't sound great. I've tried it on vocals, I've tried it on guitars, I've tried it on drums and things like that. Just not the greatest. But we do this one podcast that's kind of a visual thing where there's a lot of cameras involved, and we put this, I just put this on the table like it's for a talk show kind of thing or something. And I actually use the output of it for the podcast while we're actually recording the podcast. Amazing. All right, let's jump on into, y'all know I'm saving the big one for last, right? Y'all got to know that. I'm going to go ahead. There was only a couple mics left, so I'm going to go ahead and save the big one for last, okay? This is a Aventone CV12 tube condenser. This is the mic that we always leave up in my Studio B. It does have an on-off, so it's got a high-pass filter. It's got a minus 10 decibel pad on it. There is the only thing left that's original of this microphone is this red part. Oh, and the shock mount. That's the only thing that's original on this entire microphone. Everything else has been changed. The tube is different. The electronics have been altered. The capsule has been changed. Even this silver part, the cage, has been changed to be not stock. I'm a big fan of modifications. I'm a big fan of not having things normal. We've actually, one of the other engineers that works here has the stock one. And stock put against this one, no, there's no comparison. So if you guys do pick one of these up, I think you can buy these at Guitar Center today for $400, $450, something like that. If you guys do pick one of these up, go to my boy over at micparts.com. He's got a kit that'll show you how to change all this stuff. And this isn't part of the kit. The top part isn't part of the kit, but you can buy this separate. I think this was like 30 bucks for the top part. But the kit is amazing. It changes it. And I can honestly say, and I know I hate to kind of say this like this, but I can honestly say that in a mix, I can't tell the difference between this mic and the Sony C800g. I know that's a big statement, but if you guys don't believe me, come on over to the studio. We'll shoot it out if y'all want to shoot it out. But I'm talking about in a mix. Yes, I can hear a difference between the Sony and this in the raw recording, but in a mix, I cannot tell a difference. I probably can. I'm just making that up. Y'all know that. But, you know, honestly, in a mix, it doesn't really matter that much. But I can tell the difference between the Sony and the SM7B in a mix because they're different. All right. This is also an Aventone. This was our main mic. This was our main studio vocal mic before we got the Sony. This is an Aventone BV1, a large diaphragm tube condenser. This thing's pretty cool. I think retail on this is like $1,000, $1,100, something like that. It's not that bad. It's a great mic. Like I said, it was our main mic until I got the Sony. I've got a couple of clients that they prefer this mic over the Sony because it just works really well with their voice. So we keep it around. I actually used it yesterday or day before, on Friday. And ladies and gentlemen, this is the warm audio. No, it ain't warm audio, people. It's a Sony. We have owned this mic for probably 15 years, 12 years, something like that. I bought it a long time ago. This one is modified. The only modification is the tube is a different tube. I had it done by a guy in Woodland Hills. He calls himself the mic guy. So I figured he might be pretty good at modding mics or cleaning it. He just basically took my mic and cleaned it, changed the tube. But when he changed the tube, he put a new old stock RCA American tube in it. Anyway, this mic has 2 patterns. It's got a cardioid and a Omni. So it's great for room mics. And it is the Sony C800g. Let me get this in focus for you there. It is a Sony C800g. Not a big deal, man. What makes this unique is that it's got this heat sink that comes off the back of it. Basically what it is when you have the tube sits right here. So rather than the heat from the tube getting up and getting on the capsule and expanding the capsule because the capsule is made of metal or whatever, this heat sink pulls the heat from the tube away from the capsule to keep the capsule steady and consistent. That's what makes this mic so special. I'm not even going to tell you how much this mic costs. You honestly can't buy this mic anymore. It's not available. You can't buy it new. You can only buy it used if you can find somebody that wants to sell it. This is actually a great mic. Like I said, it's a prestige. It may not be the best sounding mic ever. It may not, you guys might have an MXL mic that's modded that sounds comparable, like my Aventone. My CV12 sounds comparable to this. It's not exactly this. And honestly, I'm hearing good things about the Warm Audio mic, and there's another one called the Golden Age GA8000 or something like that. I'm hearing good things about those. I actually thought about buying one of the Warm Audios just to compare them and see what the differences were, and then I could have one. It'd be awesome. So I may still do that by the end of the year. Just don't tell my wife. I guess she knows now because she watches all these things. Hey, honey. We'll get to that. I'll cut that out. Anyway, so hey, listen, everybody. This has been really fun. I'm really happy that you guys got to hang out with me here for a little bit. This was pretty amazing. I mean, I didn't realize. I didn't realize I had this many microphones. I didn't know I had one. I didn't know I had 7 SM57s. Who knew? Until you pull them all out and you see them all in the same place. That's what they are. So hey, I appreciate y'all hanging out with me. I really hope y'all enjoyed this studio tour as much as I enjoyed bringing it to you. So next couple of weeks, I'm gonna put the whole thing together and put it on YouTube. I'll send a link out to the list so y'all can see the whole thing all together. I'll do a little creative editing on it so it's not so long. But anyway, I hope y'all enjoyed. Hope y'all enjoyed seeing all the microphones here at the studio. And if you ever want to come by and check them out or see what they're like, see what they sound like on your voice, love to have you come over. Just check it out, esaudio.com. I'll put a link. I'll put an end card. I'll put a link down here so y'all can see it. In YouTube, I'll put a link down there so y'all can check it out. Yeah, just come on over, man. Check it out. See what we got going on. Stay in touch. We'll talk to you soon. And learn pro recording. Thank you so much for having me in here and let me do this to you. Let me do this for you. So I'm really happy y'all got to see all these microphones and all these things going on. So appreciate you hanging out. We'll talk to you next time. We'll see you next time. Be safe. Be happy. Keep making music make you money. And we'll talk to you next time. Peace.